Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Learn with Ravi. In today's session, we shall learn about the concept of clocks. In the previous session, we have seen what a clock is, what are the angles made by the hour's hand in 1 hour space, in 1 minute space, and the angle made by the minute's hand in 1 minute space. And then we have seen different types of models. So let us get into the types of models. In the first model, we speak about the concept called as mirror images. So for a given time, HHMM, for example, I want to calculate the mirror image of 3:45. What do you mean to say? If you display a clock that shows a time of 3:45 in a mirror, then what is the time you find in the mirror? So that is called as the mirror image. So to calculate mirror image, we modify the time by a little. How is the modification found? So you can express 12 hours as 11 hours 60 minutes, isn't it? We can express 12 hours as 11 hours 60 minutes. So for a given time HHMM, so 11 hours 60 minutes. So for a given time HHMM, we calculate the mirror image as 11 minus HH 60 minus mm, and the image gives you a clear idea about finding the mirror image, isn't it? So image 2 is the mirror image of image 1 or vice versa. So let us see some examples of finding mirror images. So example 1, if my time is 9:35, so 11 minus 9 is the hours part and 60 minus 35 is a minutes part. So that would result in 2 hours 25 minutes. So 9:35's mirror image would be 2:25. You can verify it in a mirror if you want. So that's how we calculate the mirror image. Example 2 says 10:20. So the answer would be 11 minus 10, 60 minus 20. It is as simple as it, isn't it? So 11 minus 10 is 1, 60 minus 20 is 40. So 140 is a mirror image of 10:20. Similarly, example 3, the answer would be 4:32 is a given time. So 11 minus 4 and 60 minus 32 would result in 7 and 28 minutes, 7 hours 28 minutes. Now let us modify the given time by a little. Suppose my time is 12:40. Here comes the complication, because to calculate the mirror image we perform 11 minus HH. So 11 minus 12 will result in a negative value which is not found in the concept of clocks. Then what can be done? So common sense says that 12:40 can be written as 0040. Why 0040? Because generally we say the 12th hour as the 0th hour in general, isn't it? So 12:40 can be written as 0040. So now we can convert 0040's mirror image as 11 minus 0 is 11, 60 minus 40 is 20. So the mirror image of 12:40 is 11:20. So that is how we calculate the mirror image. And going with the next story, I want to calculate the mirror image of 11:18. So how do you work with 11:18? So 11:18 mirror image is 11 minus 11, 60 minus 18, that results in 0042. But we know that 00 can be written as 12, so 0042 is written as 1242. That's how we work with that. So we write 1240 as 040, 0 hours, 0th hour 40 minutes, or we can write 0th hour 42 minutes as 1242. So this is how we calculate the mirror image for a given time. It is as simple as it, and please don't complicate it. Fine. Now going ahead, model 2 is all about finding the angle between hands. Hands bole to the minute hand and the hour's hand at a given time. Now we can solve this concept or this model in many ways. So I will do it in 3 different ways. To make things easy, let me start with a model where we use a formulae. People love formulae, people love shortcuts, right? So when you write the formulae for a given time HHMM, we calculate the angle by the formula theta is the modulo of 11 upon 2 mm minus 30 hh. Keep in mind the formula is enclosed in a modulo. What is a modulo? Modulo will always result in a positive value. The difference is negative. The negative value is taken as positive. We will see some examples. So mm indicates the minutes part, hh indicates the hours part. So let us start with the examples. If my given time is 115, so at 115, what is the angle between the hours hand and the minutes hand? So in the problem, the hours part is 1, the minutes part is 15. Simply plug in the values and you get the answer as 52.5. Now going ahead to second example, if my time is 420, what is the angle made? So what do you observe here? We observe that the hours part is 04, the minutes part is 20. So plug in the value. It is 11 by 2 times 20 minus 30 times 4, and you get something called as a negative 10. So 10 times 20, 11 10 times is 110. 110 minus 120 is a negative 10. But this negative 10 is enclosed in a modulo operator, so that results in a positive value, that is 10. So the angle between the hours hand and the minutes hand at 420 is 10 degrees. That's why I have been shouting that we use the modulo operator. It is as simple as it. Now tell me the answer of 325. What you get the angle between the hours hand and the minutes hand? Do not complicate it, plug in the value. How do you plug in? HH is 03, mm is 25. So put the formula and the output would be 47.5. So the angle is 47.5 degrees. So I gave you the formula and I gave you example 1, 2 and 3, and it's all about learning the formula, plugging the values to get the outputs. Clear with that? So now going ahead, how do you solve the same stories? By using concept. And when I say the word concept, you need to recall the angle made by the hours hand, the angle made by the minutes hand. Please keep that in mind. So let us do the same story using a concept. Now, if the time is 3:25, isn't it? If the time given is 3:25, 25 minutes indicates that the minutes hand will be at 5, isn't it? So 25 indicates 5. So in between the hours hand 3 and the minutes hand, which is at 5, we have 2 hour spaces, isn't it? So the minutes hand will be at 5 and the hours hand is expected to be at 3. So if it is at 3 and if it is at 5, we have 2 hour spaces. So the angle between them would be 2 times 30 degrees, that is 60 degrees. We have learned that the angle between consecutive hour spaces is how much? 30 degrees. Clear? So it is 2 30 degrees, 60 degrees. But in reality, is the hours hand is exactly at 3? No, the hours hand is not exactly at 3 because the minute hand is moving from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So definitely the hour hand will move a little and the hour hand will be in between 3 and 4. Right? So that angle I want to calculate, and that is called as theta 2. And as the minute hand came from 12 to 5, it means that we have come through 25 minutes. So in this 25 minutes, the hour hand will move by some angle, and we have learned that the hour hand makes an angle of half degree for 1 minute space. Now as we have 25 minute spaces, the angle made would be 12.5. Right? So now what is the answer? The common sense says the angle should be theta 1 minus theta 2, which is 60 minus 12.5, that is 47.5. Clear with that? The image on the screen should make it clear to you all. The actual angle between the hours hand and the minutes hand would be the difference of the angles calculated, that is 47.5. In the same problem, you will be told to calculate the reflex angle. As the reflex angle, the angle is more than 180. So we calculate the reflex angle by subtracting 47.5 from 360, and that is 312.5. So that is how we calculate it. Now please watch the image very carefully. The presentation slide has got few points. All these things can be done in mind, but as it is the first time, you should know what is happening. The time says 3 and 25. 25 is 5. So between 3 and 5 we have 2 hour spaces. So it is 60 degrees. Common sense. Point 2. As the minute hand has come from 12 to 5, it has passed a total of 25 minutes. So in this 25 minutes, the hour hand will make an angle of 25 times, that is 12.5. The actual angle is expected to be 60, but it has moved angle of 12.5. So 60 minus 12.5 is the answer, that is 47.5. It can be done without pen paper by using the concept in detail. Fine. Let us do the same story by taking another time. My time is 10:15. Now use your common sense. Forget how it is being done. So 10, my hour hand will be at 10. 15 indicates my hour hand will be at 3. So how many hour space are from between 10 and 3? You get both the angles, but generally I take it in this way. So 15 indicates 3. So 10 minus 3 is 7 hour spaces. Is it or not? So in these 7 hour spaces, what is the angle made? The angle made is theta 1. Theta 1 would be 7 into 30, that is 210 degrees. One way of solving it. Clear? Now, but do you actually think that the hour hand will be at 10 exactly? No. As a minute hand has come from 12 to 3, the hour hand will definitely move a little. And that little is called as theta 2. So theta 2 should be calculated. So in 1 minute space, the hour hand makes half degree movement. So in 15 minutes, it makes a movement of 7.5 degrees. Now from 3 to the hour hand, the total angle is taken as theta 1 plus theta 2. That would be 210 plus 7.5, which is 217.5. This 217.5 is the reflex angle what we got. So keep in mind, when the angle is more than 180 degrees, we call it as reflex angle. So we got it as 217.5, which is the reflex angle. Now what is the other angle found? So the other angle would be 360 minus 217.5, which is 142.5. Clear with that? This is how we calculate the angles by using concept. Now the point is, there should be a small confusion, sir, when to subtract, when to add things. So I'll give you a clarity of these additions and subtractions by taking the same story in a different approach. What is that? If the time is 10:15, 15 indicates 3. So the number of hour spaces 10 minus 3 is 7. The value 7 is a plus value. Is this yes or no? So 7 hour spaces has got 210 degrees, and in that 15 degrees the angle made by the hour hand would be 7.5. So you got 210 as theta 1, 7.5 as theta 2. And as the difference is a positive value, 10 minus 3 is plus 7, right? Because it is a plus 7, please add this theta 1, theta 2 to get the final answer, which is 217.5. Now to avoid confusion, let me give you one more example. 325. 25 indicates 5. Yes. So the hour spaces are 3 minus 5 is a negative 2. Isn't it? So 3 minus 5 is a negative 2, and theta 1 would be 2 times 30 is 60, and theta 2 would be 25 times half, that is 12.5. Now 60 is one angle, 12.5 is one angle. The question is, should I add or subtract? Now to get that confusion or to overcome that confusion, what is the difference? We got 3 minus 5 is a negative 2. Because you got the negative value, perform theta 1 minus theta 2. So 60 minus 12.5 is 47.5. Now compare both the examples in detail. What do you observe? In case 1, the difference is positive, so I added. In case 2, the difference is negative, so I subtracted. So this is how we perform addition or subtraction without any confusion. And if you want to have the reflex angle, subtract it from 360 degrees, you will get the reflex angle part. What is the angle if the time is given as 8? Students may again get confused. Just imagine 8. If the time is exactly 8, the minute hand will be at 12, the hour hand will be at 8. We can write 8 as 760, isn't it? Now 60 indicates 12 and 60 indicates 12. Now what is the hour spaces? 7 minus 12 is negative 5. We got a negative value. As you got negative value, what do you do now? We find theta 1 first, theta 2 next. Now should we add or subtract? We subtract. Why we subtract? Because we got a negative 5. That is 120. Now what is the reflex angle? 360 minus 120 is 240. Which is 8 spaces what we got, right? 830 is 240. Isn't it or not? So when the time is at 8, the hour hand will be at 8, the minute hand will be at 12. So between 12 and 8, you got 8 hour spaces. So 830 is 240. 240 is one angle. What is the other angle? 360 minus 240 is 120. That's there. It is as simple as it. If the time is 3 o'clock, so 3 can be written as 260. So again the same story. 60 indicates 12. Now 2 minus 12 is negative 10. And theta 1 is 300, theta 2 is 30. So because the difference is negative, we get 300 minus 30, that is 270 degrees. So if it is 270, what is the other angle? The other angle would be 90. So when the time is 3 o'clock, our hand is at 3, the minute hand is at 12. Between 12 and 3 you got 3 hour spaces. So 30, 30 and 30 is 90. So that's how we solve the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand at a given time. We'll see the next two models in the next video. That's for now. Thank you.